I've just scared them because I go fast. I'm one of those that when I get it, I get it. You know, and everybody around me, I can leave in a tailspin if I'm not careful about it. And then we're called to the third thing, which is that we need to gather as a people. Now we can gather in fun things. We can gather in different rites and sacraments of the church. We can come for weddings. We can gather for, you know, special holidays and Lent and Christmas and Easter. We can come together. But the gathering is when your spirit inside of you speaks to the spirit to someone else. It is a deeper relationship. It is a deeper caring. We build that up with one another so that we can be a community moving together. And there's no place in our community here that it happens for all of us except MCC. You know, when we come here, we're raising the bar. You know, you're a kind congregation. It's taken a while to get to that point. But I know that you all work and help other people. And if you're searching to have something that's going to last from now until eternity, this is a good place to be. We don't try to tell you what faith you have to be or how you approach it. We offer that we try to stay as inclusive as we can so that it gives people an approach to go. We recognize other faiths and other religions and other through the year we do other cultural things. You know, because we want to be a community. I'm trying to present that it's in a very, very rich way. Maybe this story might help bring me out of it. There are some people that pretend to be Christian. They're kind of imitation. Kind of imitation. So do you know that if you have 50 trees that you're getting sap out to make real maple syrup, not that imitation kind, real maple syrup, out of those 50 trees come about 30 to 40 gallons of a fluid. The sap is kind of watery. And from there, it has to be rendered down. The buckets, they're filled and they're emptied into a large bin. They're put over a fire, and the sap comes to a slow boil. And it boils, and it boils, and it boils. And hours later, it develops that flavor, that rendered down flavor of the sap, and it turns a golden brown. After that's done, they have to strain it several times to get all the impurities out of it, ready for it to be bottled. After all that's done and reduced, you have 1 gallon of pure maple syrup. Maple syrup that is not an imitation like you'd find in the store. How many of you have tasted real maple syrup instead? It doesn't match, does it? It's good. Yeah, you made it too. You understand this process. I was totally amazed how many gallons it took to make one.
That's why it costs $40.
Yeah.
Now I know. Now I know. But that's that same thing. See, we're given a faith, and for some of us, maybe it stays a little watery. You know, we just kind of run all over. We kind of live by fate or people. We're having trouble in relationships. Everything seems to be amiss. But, you know, we're doing okay. And then after time, when we come to our faith where it's something that we really believe, that we're able to have these strategies in our own life of how to make good, healthy decisions. And that we try to approach our relationships with one another in a mutual way. That's tough. Especially it's hardest at home. It's hardest at home to really look at the mutuality of things. We have to be aware because, boy, that's a place if we're going to pop a cork, it's going to probably happen there. You know, when all the dogs and your partner run and they haven't done a dang thing except you came through the door, something's wrong with that picture. You know what I mean? But that's sometimes the hardest place to practice that mutuality. It does not happen by itself. And any time we join in community, we need to look at that idea of it takes all of us to make it better. Because all of us reach different people. We touch different lives. And that's really what the most important thing is. How do you help in the world? What are the things you see in yourself that are good? And you don't have to talk, you know, that's not bragging. I know you all do. You touch many, 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 many lives. And in those lives that you touch, you build significant relationship with them, and if they cross over, it hurts. It hurts when you've loved someone and it's their time to cross over and wiggle around out of this old body and move to a different address, you know. I don't know what that's going to be like for me. If I'm honest, I know my mom is a faithful woman. I know that she's kept that faith. I know that she had a hard job because my dad died when I was so young. She had to be both parents, and, you know, I don't know. I don't know what actually that'll come with. I think my biggest concern would be watching her go through Alzheimer's or dementia, you know, being out of her head and having to be in a nursing home. But I do know that in this job, I've done that before. I know what it's like. It's okay. And I know when people have crossed over after a long life of faith and building that up, it's a pretty neat thing. The people that wrestle with it sometimes are the ones that haven't got right with God first, you know what I'm saying? They got to wiggle a little bit before they can get out of that shell. And it is in that deeper faith that we come forward, encouraging one another to make it deeper, that we're sound, that we're able to be on the rock, not falling in the sand. I know that there have been people through our lives, maybe for some parents or sister or siblings or partner or wife or husband, we may have needed a hero somewhere along the line. I know you all think I'm going to play hero. I'm not. This is the weirdest song for me. Who does it? This is the weirdest song for me to do, but I have been fired up about the song that's taken me out of this sermon. I'm telling you, you know, there are people that, like us, have tried to do good in the world. Whether we do it through politics, we do it through prayer, we try to make it better. Humanity is at its best when we're in the worst crisis. You know, after 9/11, we kind of loved each other. Because all of a sudden, we found out we could be blown up over here. It wasn't a daily occurrence for us. There was something about being an American and living as free that changed that day. Changed that day. I don't want to be anywhere else. And so there are people who have led oppressed people into being free, like we sang in that song. And they are people that stood for things, and we're still in that plight as a community. We're still not free. We still don't have the same rights and privileges, yet we're expected to pay the same taxes of everybody that has the rights and privileges. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So I chose this. You can go ahead and bring the screen down. I chose her to, we're not going to sing it. I want you to just watch her talk about some people and watch the impact on her life as an old woman.
This is the backside of Mom's Mabley, her new album on Mercury. I don't think I'll turn it around.
Turn it around, Merc.
No, I'm chicken, Moms. But it's a terrific stuff you really can't do on the show here.
Oh, yeah. Do it anywhere. I want all my children to buy my records at all times.
Okay.
They'll find a place for them. You ain't gonna hear nothing you ain't gonna hear in the street.
Yeah. Moms, there's a little excitement in your life, though, with recording.
Yes, since I saw you murder it is.
I've been hearing it all summer, and it's sensational. You have the #2 record in the country right now.
Yeah.
Will you do it for us?
No,
I thought you were going to say no. Will you? I love it. Here's Mom's Mabley.
Has anybody here seen my old friend Abraham? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems a good die young. I just looked around and he was gone. Has anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? You know he freed a lot of people, but it seems a good die young. I just looked around and he was gone. Has anybody here seen my old friend Martin Luther? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems a good die young. I just looked around and he was gone. Didn't you love the things that they stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday soon. Oh, it's got to be one day. Has anybody here seen my little Bobby? Can you tell me where he's gone? I thought I saw him walking over the hill with Abraham, Martin, and John. They were going home. They were just going home. They were just going home.
Jackie Mom's Maiden. Good, Mom.